Mr. Travis Wright, it is most certainly happening.
It is. And this is the third halvening of the Bitcoin blockchain. Pretty exciting.
It's kind of a big deal. Like this is happening soon. As the market responds, maybe with kind of like a sell the news after buying the rumor type thing. But we're here to cover it. I'm Joel Com.
I'm Travis Wright, and I want to share my screen here real quick because there's some interesting things that are going on. And so this right here, this particular article, you can see this, pow. So right now, Google searches for Bitcoin halvening have skyrocketed to unprecedented numbers compared to the last time that we had a halvening. So look, this right here was when we had the last halvening, when it went from 25 Bitcoin per block to 12.5 Bitcoin per block. Here it is now, the amount of searches that we've had, as it's going from 12.5 Bitcoin down to 6.25 Bitcoin. Now, this is an increase in nearly 360% more interest now than there was back in 2016, Mr. Jolcom.
Yeah, now that certainly is a leading indicator for what's going to happen next. Let's take a look here at CoinGecko and see exactly where Bitcoin is right now at this moment. Let me do a quick refresh here, make sure we're current. Yeah, Bitcoin is at 84.38. And if we look at what's happened in Bitcoin, let's go ahead and just look at, say, this last 90 days. Okay. So right here is where COVID took its toll and all of the markets collapsed. Stock market, precious metals, oil, everything collapsed, even Bitcoin and the crypto markets collapsed. And then so Bitcoin got all the way down to, it looks like about 4,900 before rebounding, hitting last week. I think we hit 10,000. I can't find the exact moment here, but if not, just shy of 10,000. And then there was this huge drop yesterday where, or was it the day before, where it dropped like $1,800 in 15 minutes. And now with the halvening upon us, we're sitting at 84.63. What's really interesting to me though, Mr. Travis Wright, is when we look at the max for this chart, look at the volume for Bitcoin right here. Wow.
Yeah, compare that to 2000, late 2017, early 2018. Oh, over there by 2018. Over. There you go.
Remember how we talked about this would be a blip?
That's where we had the all-time high. Look at the volumes though there now. So like, tell me that crypto is not getting more mass adoption now. The amount of volume that we're having now is unbelievable. Now, we've had people on Back Crypto before who said, well, there are some exchanges that like to fudge the exchange numbers over time. But if you just take into account Binance's and Coinbase and some of those other ones, like ones that you would assume are not necessarily fudging data, I mean, we're talking billions and billions and tens of billions. What is the number at overall? Like $100 and something billion worth of volume recently?
Yeah, it's seriously off the charts. Crazy. And if we take a look at the Bitcoin clock, I've got two of them here. There's a little disparity because they're still both guessing. This Bitcoin clock says 35 minutes to the halving, which would put us, it's 12:45 here now, so it'd put us at 1:20 p.m. Mountain Time, and it says there's 4 blocks left. Now that can speed up, that can slow down, but we're almost there. This other one, Travis, says that we are 39 minutes away from the halving here. So they're pretty close.
So it's happening, it's happening. It'll be here soon. Let me show my screen here real quick, Mr. Jolcom. Now look at this. So there are some indications that after the halving, the price could drop significantly. Historically, here's what happens. So in the first halving in 2012, we went, it went right before the halving around $13 Bitcoin, folks. Gosh, wouldn't that be nice? And then it dropped all the way down to 10. And then when the halving happened, it was a little over $12, and then it did go up a little bit, right? Now, then over time, and then it ended up shooting all the way up to what, $1,200 sometime in 2013. So that bull run went. Well, now in 2016, the second halving, what happened was the price went up. Oh, the price crunched down, and the halving, and then look what ended up happening after the time of that, right? So here we are now. What's going to happen this time?
And by the way, stop right there, Trav, because what, of course, what you need to mention there is while it was hanging around $600 to $700 after that halving in 2016, by early 2017, it had gone up to 1,000, and by the end of 2017, had hit like 18,000.
Right at the end of 2017, it actually hit 20,000, and before it went into 2018, and then in 2018 it started going down. But then all the altcoins started going back up, right? Because one of the key things that I don't think most people think about is, from that run up in 2017 was in August of 2017. Everybody who had Bitcoin now automatically had the same amount of Bitcoin Cash, and so Bitcoin Cash at that time was going for what, $2, $3, almost $4,000, and so people were dumping their Bitcoin Cash, buying more Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin skyrocketed, and then people started selling their Bitcoin, going into altcoins. The altcoins went up, and then the whole market within 30 days, from what is it, like the 18th of February or the 18th of January to the 18th of February, we had lost over $500-600 billion worth of market cap. And then the price is doing its own thing now. So now here we are entering the third halving, and we got to almost 10,000. Then it dropped down to like 8,400, and so what are we going to do after this? Most likely it may go down a little bit more, but I would say over the next year we're probably going to see an all-time high, especially, Mr. Joel Comm, with as much money as governments are printing right now.
Well, and it's not just the governments printing money that are indicators of this. We covered this in our news episode, episode number 403 on Friday. Paul Tudor Jones, who apparently is a legend in the investment marketplace, right, in stock markets. This article on Bloomberg.com says that he now sees Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation, and he revealed yesterday that he's got 1% to 2% of his portfolio now in Bitcoin. That's huge because it's the institutional money, right? It's the big investment firms that have been waiting on the sidelines for Bitcoin to prove its worth as an investment vehicle and as a store of value. And, if you can't see the writing on the wall with the three charts you just showed and the fact that Bitcoin has been unstoppable, it's been declared dead hundreds of times. If you remember the name of the site with the Bitcoin graveyard, that'd be fun to pull that up as well, to see all the times Bitcoin has been pronounced dead. And it's like from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, I'm not dead yet. And I don't think a yet is coming. I don't think Bitcoin is going to die. Nothing in the trends that we are seeing would indicate anything but an increase in mainstream adoption and therefore usage of Bitcoin.
Yeah. So what, John Tudor Jones? I don't know anything about him, but I do know John Paul Jones was an amazing bassist for Led Zeppelin. And I don't know what he has to say about Bitcoin halving right now, but I'm sure
he's dead, isn't he? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, well, he's dead. He's still
pretty
rock.
Sure he's not saying anything about anything right now.
I think he's dead. But Led Zeppelin, pretty amazing stuff. Yeah, this time right here, here we are, and the price is $8,400 right now. Let's come back a year from now, and I would say personally, I think a year from now, Bitcoin will be $25,000 or more a coin. That would be my non-financial advisor bet. I bet it goes up 3x from now until 1 year from now, May 11th, 2021. It could be way higher than that, but I would say it'd be at least 25,000. It'll be at an all-time high then.
Well, out of all the voices out there predicting what the price of Bitcoin would be, we've heard some outrageous things on both sides, right? We've heard Warren Buffett say it's rat poison, that, and others saying it's going to zero. We've heard John McAfee jokingly, say that it was going to go to 1 million by the end of 2020. One voice that has been consistent for years is legendary investor Tim Draper of Draper VC. And Tim is standing by his predictions that by early 2023, at the latest, one Bitcoin will be worth $250,000. What does that say for the crypto market cap? If one is worth $250,000 and there's 21 million, my calculator doesn't go that high.
Well, there won't be 21 million until the year 2140. So think about this. Right now, there are about 18.3 billion Bitcoin that are in circulation. 18.5 billion, which means what? 2.5 billion or 2.5 million Bitcoin remain unmined, and it's going to take the next 120 years to mine those. Because what's going to happen in 4 more years, or in 210,000 blocks, what's going to end up happening is it'll go from 6.25 to 3.125 Bitcoins. And then it will have again in 210 more, 1,000 blocks, it's going to go from 3.125 to 1.6, blah, 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 whatever that number is. And it's just going to keep smaller and smaller and smaller over time.
So I ran some numbers on my handy desktop calculator here. And let's say there's only 18.5 million Bitcoin. Of course, by 2023, it'll be closer probably to 19 million that are in circulation, even though they're not all in circulation. We can cover that.
So we could be saying, if that's the case, nearly $5 trillion in market cap just for Bitcoin.
Just for Bitcoin. Now, what is the current market cap for gold? How many
current market cap for gold historically is around $7 to $8 trillion.
Right. So, I mean, this is kind of how, people who are looking at the math on this are projecting the long-term value of Bitcoin. There's, yes, there is a finite supply of gold in the earth, but we haven't found it all. There's more. I mean, there's estimates. They kind of know how much is, in the vaults and in Fort Knox and around the world, being stored by various countries, but there's still more.
A lot of those asteroids flying around has a lot of gold and silver on it too. So what was to happen if one of those crunched into Earth and all of a sudden here's a bunch more gold? They're actually trying to figure out how to mine those asteroids that have gold and silver on them. They have like a little space machine land on it and mine it all and then pick it up and fly it back to Earth somehow. Or just grab onto the asteroid and just gently fly it into Earth and land it and then get all the gold from it.
Get your hands off my asteroids. Right. And so, yes, there's a finite supply, but we don't actually know how much. So there's a best guess. With Bitcoin, we know the finite supply. There are 21 million ever. Now,
and we know there's no asteroids out there with Bitcoin.
There's no asteroids out there with Bitcoin. Oh, there goes one right there. One just flew by. And out of the 21 million that will eventually be mined, it said that, first of all, Satoshi Nakamoto, whoever he, she, they, or it are, have 1 million in a wallet, which has never been touched. We don't know if it'll ever be touched. And it's estimated that a good 4 million or more Bitcoin are lost forever. I mean, right here represented in this room, we have 55 Bitcoin that are lost forever. And that might not be me, might be him. But there's millions of Bitcoin that, in the beginning, they were mined and they were flowing like milk and honey, and people never thought that it would actually be worth anything. They were just playing around with it, and they're gone. They didn't keep the keys. They don't have the hard drives, whatever. So from the 21 million, now take off 5 million. Okay. So that means there are now 16 million Bitcoin that are actually by 100 years from now, that'll be circulating. That's nothing.
That is crazy to think about. And then, Satoshi's million coins or whatever have not been able to move from a vault. I don't know that it's 5 million that's lost, but I would say at least probably 2 or 3 million of them are lost. It is just hard to say. So, and then a lot of people are holding them. They don't want to actually sell them. So there's not a lot in circulation. I want to show you this. This is an interesting image from CoinDesk, where it talks about the run-ups from the first and second halving, and you can see 2011, 5 cents. If you could go back to 2010, 2011, how much 5-cent Bitcoin would you buy, Mr. Joel Comm?
All of it.
All of it. See, it makes a nice little run up to $20. Everybody was like, yay. And then by the time that, a year before the halving, it was down to $2.54. And then at halving, it was right around $10. And then 365 days after halving, it went up 8,069%, all the way up to $1,007.
And you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta sell. I gotta sell it all now.
It probably wouldn't have been a bad idea as long as you bought it back whenever it was, $270.
Right. But if you would have hodled it and not sold it and bought back it in July 9, 2015, you would have 20x'd it by January 2018.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, okay, so I found this story right here on Trust Nodes, and they're talking here about the math for the reasoning why 5 million Bitcoin may be lost forever. And so they're looking at circulation, right, of how many Bitcoin were circulating at the time. And let's see here. Dust coins can be considered as lost with 25,000 Bitcoin for dust-like values on chain. So little bits of Satoshis here and there. I want to know how they're getting to this number. So I've read 4 and I've read 5, and who knows who's really accurate, but any way you look at it, it's a lot of Bitcoin that are taken out of circulation.
I'm sad. I lost 55 Bitcoin, but it wasn't really worth anything then. That was the time when it was worth like the 5 cents, and my computer crashed. I didn't think to get it off, but I did get my family photos and all my MP3s that I downloaded from Napster. I got all of them off. That was very important. I wish I had thought of that. Back in the day, it was so awesome. Like Nick Szabo and some other folks, they had these Bitcoin faucets you could go to, and every day you could go and get 5 Bitcoins, just download it, connect it, get 5 Bitcoins. And I did. I was very intelligent and I was a futurist, and I did it one time. It was good.
Well, that's
imagine just going to this faucet every single day, getting 5 Bitcoin and stacking up 100 of them, and then never doing anything else. You could have retired.
Right. So this is actually blockchain.com. This is the Bitcoin block explorer right here. And it shows you the last block was mined 8 minutes ago, 19 minutes, and then 30 minutes and 42. And then boom, 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 shows you who the miner was, the block size. And if we go back to the halving clock here, we're 27 minutes away. There are 3 blocks left. So after that third block, the next one, that means the difficulty level on that next one will have doubled. And this clock here says 29 minutes.
So we have 29 more minutes of filler we got to come up with, or what?
Actually, I was thinking about popping into, I know we're broadcasting all over the place, by the way. So the reason we're not responding to comments is because we're on DLive, we're on Periscope, we're on our Facebook personal profiles, we're on the Periscope channels, mine, Bad Cryptos, we're in the Bad Crypto podcast page. Hi guys, we're in the Bad Crypto Mastermind. I was thinking about going to our mastermind group because those are our most dedicated followers and listeners, and seeing if any of them want to come on and share their thoughts. So that's actually, you go ahead and talk for a moment, and I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Yeah, we have people watching there on YouTube. Maybe there's some comment. I'm cruising on over here to see if there's any comments going on. Oh, there are. It says, hey, Joel, your mic is a little bit low. Actually, a lot low, they said. But
that's weird. It keeps going down.
Going down.
All right, I'm turning it up. How is that?
That was super loud.
Is that better?
That was super loud. You might want to turn it down a little bit.
Super loud.
I think I was using the wrong mic anyways. Now my volume is probably higher and different. Big shout out to Jeff and Louise Philippe Chesson and Jeff. 27 minutes to halving. This is exciting, folks.
All right, I'm going to put the URL for my Zoom here in the mastermind. And if anybody in the mastermind group wants to come in, use your real name, please, because it puts you in a waiting room when you come in. You can't just Zoom bomb me. So I'll see who it is before I let you in. Please use the same username that you use in the Bad Crypto Mastermind if you want to come in and chat with us here. And yeah, let's see, participants. There we go. Let me, I'm going to practice my halving skills. Why?
Final countdown.
Okay, I'm going to try my halving skills right here. Here's my Bitcoin.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, gang. The halving is off. I can't do it. So we have Alejandro G. He's an original OG. What's happening, brother? Talk to us. Say words.
Alejandro.
Say words, man.
Hold on.
All right. And turn on your camera so we can see you, because this here's a video chat, unless you're going to show us your butt, in which case, no camera. Oh, man. Put the butt away. What's happening?
Oh, nice. Look at this. We got a group of peoples up in here. I got to turn this into gallery view now, Mr. Joel Com.
Isn't it? I think it's in gallery view.
All right.
There we go. There we are. So Alejandro, what do you think, man?
Hey, how are you guys?
Good. Thanks for being a listener. What do you think of this whole halving? What's going to happen after the halving?
I don't know. That's a tough question because with all the things that are going on in the world right now, we don't know.
There are things going on in the world. I can vouch for that.
Yeah.
People's up in here. I got to turn this.
So
we got Matthew
we
Marcus
hope,
here too.
we hope for the best. You know, we hope we start making some big, beautiful money.
So we can look like me?
Yeah.
It's Elton
Matt
Joel.
Marcus, unmute yourself, brother, and say hello.
Going on in the world right now.
What's up, y'all?
There are things going on in the world. Okay, mute
Yeah.
your audio over there. Excellent. So Matt, what do you think is going to happen here?
We got
Are
Matthew
gonna,
Marcus here too.
whoever's got audio on for us,
Big,
turn off the audio.
beautiful money.
That's probably me.
So we can look like me.
There we go.
Perfect. All right, Matt. So showtime, brother. Are we going to follow the same trend that we've been following post halving and go parabolic here in the next year?
I mean, what do they say? History doesn't always repeat itself, but it often rhymes. I know we've heard that over and over. I think that's what we're going to see, man. It's all coming together. It's like a perfect storm. It's just all the pieces are fitting into the puzzle. What I think.
So what would, if it doesn't repeat itself, what would a rhyme look like in the Bitcoin world?
Well, I mean, I think that's like a safe saying, really. History doesn't always repeat itself, but it often rhymes. I honestly think it's going to repeat itself, but it's like a safe way of saying, if it doesn't, hey, I never said it was going to. I don't know.
Staying safe over there. Very nice. Yeah. So we just had a conversation. I seem to think that based on history, 1 year from now, 25,000 seems to be a reasonable price. What do you think a year from now? What do you think Bitcoin might look like price-wise a year from now?
You're asking me?
I'm asking you. I'm asking Alejandro. Anyone who wants to answer.
I mean, I think a 5-figure easy. Honestly, I think 6 figures by the end of 2021. I know other people have said that as well, but it makes sense, especially with the stock to flow model and all that stuff. But I mean, I know you guys have talked about it over and over, but this endless printing of money without any repercussion, it can't do anything but drive a hard asset like Bitcoin, its value upward. That's the way I look at it.
And I just want to confirm that this is indeed a hard asset. I mean,
doesn't get any harder than that.
It's either a hard asset or a dumb asset. I'm not sure.
Well, if you're Peter Schiff, you say it's a dumb asset. right?
That's true. That's true.
But he might be a dumbass for saying so.
Well, you know, that's one of the things about gold. Like, it's very stable. The price of gold has not increased. When you factor in how much money has been printed in the last decade, the price of gold has not followed suit. You would think that the price of gold, the more money gets printed, the higher gold gets, because the more money's in circulation, right? But that's not necessarily the case.
Yeah, in fact, if we look at the gold chart, and let me pull that up here. Let's see, gold chart. All right, screen share. And Jim, we'll get to you in just a minute here, so stand by. So here's gold charts. Let's go way back 10 years. You know, little, not quite as long as Bitcoin's been around. Well, just about. But you can see gold hit a high here in 2011 or so of what, 1870, and then fell all the way down here to 1061. And now
That saddened my whole soul, because I was realizing that was happening, and instead of buying Bitcoin, I was buying gold and silver then, like a dumbass said. I know.
Well, who knows? You know, nobody knows. But now that world currencies, fiat currencies, are so unstable and they're printing so much, you know, we're seeing gold hover around 1700, sometimes a little higher, sometimes a little lower.
Yeah, but 10 years of no gains, Mr. Joe Com. That sucks. If I was hodling the whole time, which I was. I was expecting silver and gold. I mean, when you factor in how much paper gold and how much paper silver there are, and how much finite amount of gold and silver there is, the price of gold, in my estimation, should be at least 50 times what it is right now, based on how much paper gold there is, and based on, you know, a lot of those other different factors of how much money they printed. If you look at how much money they printed since 2011, when gold was at 1800 and whatever, and they printed 10, we're at over $25 trillion in debt right now, and the price of gold has not risen at all above that price in 2011.
Speaking of not rising, if we look at the Bitcoin clock, we see that this next block is taking an exceptional amount of time. It has been 17 minutes since the last block came through here. And because we're still waiting on that, the countdown clock has not really budged. Still 3 blocks left until the halving actually happens. And hopefully it'll happen before we have to go, Travis, because we're supposed to be on with Cointelegraph for their broadcast today.
Looks like Cointelegraph picked a pretty good time to have their halving, to have us on there. That'll be
How
fun.
do they know that? Hey, Jim, go ahead and unmute yourself and give us your thoughts.
Hi, guys. Calling from the UK. Love your show. Just
Thanks,
wondered, I wonder if you've seen the article from Rhett Capital, is a guy on Twitter, and he's predicting something like $385,000 or $425,000 Bitcoin by Q1 next year.
What's his account name? Rhett Capital?
Rekt, R-E-K-T,
Oh, okay.
Capital, Rekt Capital. And there's an article on there that's about Bitcoin halving, everything you need to know. And yeah, it basically saying like a huge, obviously, percentage increase. And he's looked at the first halvening in 2012 and the second halvening in 2016, and he's sort of extrapolated what happened there, and then created a model that then predicts, as I said, quite high, well, very high, $385,000 or $425,000 Bitcoin price by Q1 next year. Have you? Do you think that's too crazy, or I mean, I know we love predicting these things. I just wondered if you think that's crazy, or do you think it's reasonable?
I don't know how you go that parabolic that fast, because when you're, you know, it's one thing to go from 10 to 500, right? It's another thing to go from 1,000 to 20,000. There's definitely some real money to be made there. But if you see a spike from 20,000 to 100,000, there's going to be a huge sell-off. Like finding that demand again when it's that high, I just can't see it going straight up.
Right. Well, let's take a step back in time, Mr. Joe Com, to whenever we were there in, like, say, September of 2017. Remember, it had been around 1,500, then it hit 2,000, and then it went 2,000. And then all of a sudden it seemed like within a couple of 3 days it hit 5,000. We're like, what? It's 5,000.
Yeah.
Oh shit, it's 10,000. Oh, it's 12,000, 15,000. It's 20. Like it just seemed like it just went ba-boom, 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 ba-boom so quickly, like within weeks, like 2 to 3 weeks, we went from like 2,000 to nearly 20,000 or something. It was insane how fast that it went up.
Exactly.
And then it went down just as fast, right?
Yeah.
Well,
By the way,
That's the
Bitcoin
thing, isn't it?
halving
We've
is
got this new norm
trending
now.
on Twitter right
Oh,
now.
excellent.
Hey, Matt, my boy Matthew here. He sent a link over. Let's take a look at this thing. It's
Yeah,
actually a
check
pretty
it.
cool.
Yeah,
It's a pretty
check
cool
it out.
halving link.
It's got two, one that's based on like the 10-minute, ideal time, and then the other one of kind of what's really happening, as far as time between each block. So, and it on here says there's 2 blocks left. So I don't know. It's kind of some discrepancy between maybe this site and like blockchain.com or something. But
This is my new favorite clock.
I'll tell you what's been
Bitcoin
fun is
systems.
like sharing all the Bitcoin halving and building up to this date on Twitter, on Facebook, and now having my friends like texting me like right now, reaching out saying, hey, what's happening? Like, is this a good time to buy? Asking me all this advice. And I mentioned earlier, like, this is a perfect storm for what you just talked about. Like, is this going to go to 6 figures much quicker than we expected? And it could happen because of everything that's happening. And we know that like institutional money is getting involved, right? Hedge fund money is coming in. And if this pandemic trips something that we don't see right now, we might see a flood of money move from like a cash position or a stock position into the crypto space as like an instant safe haven moment. I mean, who knows what that could be or if that will happen, but that could trigger a 6-figure spike.
That's what some of those hedge fund managers, like we were just talking about that John Tudor Jones guy, who was not the basis for Led Zeppelin, but he's a hedge fund guy. He was talking about, like, he was putting his money in Bitcoin. It's like, why would I want to keep it in the stock market? I'm not going to keep it in fiat money. I'm putting it in Bitcoin. And yeah, Bitcoin, the price goes up and the price goes down. It's a little tumultuous. I mean, here we are. We were so close to 10,000, and then all of a sudden Joel farted and it went down to 8,200 or whatever. And I was like, Joel,
I did it. I farted. Hey, Travis, look who's just joined us here.
What?
Mr. Joff Paradise is,
Very
is in
nice.
the house. I know he's going to have something to say. Rich,
good
you've
friend.
been muted and quiet. If you want to join us and turn on your camera.
He's just
and mic.
bragging. He's rich.
Yeah, I'm just rich. Make sure you turn down your audio. Turn down your radios before you join us so we don't get the feedback.
Hey, here's a question. I wonder if there's like a running pool on which miner's gonna mine the final block.
A pool on the pools?
A pool on the pool.
A pool pools?
Like Poolin, according to blockchain.com, Poolin just mined the 629,998 block. Who's gonna be 630,000?
Right.
Look at
Is
that
it
one,
going to be
like FT pool or whatever? The one is like F pool.
There's
or
F2 pool, there's Ant pool, and Poolin seem to get the majority. There's via BTC and BTC top, and then unknown grabbed a block here not too long ago.
But Bitcoin is decentralized, you guys, and there's only like 4 mining pools that earn the Bitcoin, but it's decentralized.
Keep that in mind.
We don't talk about those things.
Yeah, I don't like this original Bitcoin clock anymore, Mr. Travis, right? Because it's still showing 3 blocks. I'm closing that one and going with these others.
Close that one down. Matthew Marcus has saved the day.
Yeah, thanks, Matt.
This clock.
JP, unmute yourself and say yo.
Can't hear you. You're muted.
Hey, guys, how's everything going over there? You ready for this halving or what?
We're here, man. I keep trying to have this Bitcoin and it won't. I just can't. It won't go.
It's just the wrong time.
Nice. Matt's representing. He's got the bad crypto sticker. JP, where's your bad crypto sticker?
You know what? I don't. Where is it? I gotta find it.
Actually, I need your address. I need to send you a cap.
Oh, you got it, man. I'll send it over to you, Joel. No
Perfect.
problem.
We'll get
Thank
you.
brother. I
Actually, would you rather have a cap or socks?
Chihuahua. Both.
Chihuahua.
I'll
I don't think I have many left, so you got to pick one.
All right. I'll take the socks, man. I'm not a hat. I
All
don't do a lot of hats, so
Okay.
my hairline keeps getting bigger. Maybe I'll start.
All right, JP, what's going to happen here when all is said and done, and when's it going to happen?
Well, I got to tell you, I was watching with Tone, and watching all they've got about 11,000 plus people, 800 different crypto gurus on there right now, and they're just talking about what might happen, what will happen. I know we bounced back at that 8,500 mark earlier. I'm just waiting to see if we're going to have what we're going to do after. I mean, that's the big question. Are we going to get some sustainability? Are we gonna hang in there around that 8 grand mark? What's actually going to happen? I have well over 20 traders that work with me, and we do a lot of trading. We do a lot of trading on different exchanges, and we have robots and all that fun stuff. And what we're looking at is if we get a pullback and we can break, we'll stay steady at that 8. We break about 85. We break 9. If we break 9, we'll have a nice breakout. And I'd love to see in the next 18 months, the low 55K, the high up to 300 I've seen. It's anybody's game, man. I wish we had a futuristic, what do they call those, crystal balls? But we don't, But
I like that. That's quite a range. It could be as low as 5,500. Could be as high as 300,000. Like,
yeah, I mean,
wow,
that's a huge range. But that's what I'm hearing. I listen to all these different traders, and then I look at my own specs and our own system, and I don't see it going below. I hope I don't see it go below 8, but we'll see.
You really think? I mean, Joel had a great point just a moment ago, and I want to call it out because I like when Mr. Joel Comm has great points. He said, if we're getting up to 6 figures, don't we expect a huge sell-off? Like,
I heard that.
Doesn't it just seem like lots of people are going to just dump it? Like, you know, those whales that's got shitloads of it are going to go $100,000 Bitcoin, and they probably wouldn't even wait till they got to 100. They'd probably, because that's what I was waiting on whenever we had that big run in 2017, 2018. I was like, ooh, as soon as the market hits a trillion, I'm gonna start taking some profits. And it got to 840 billion total market cap, and then it dumped all the way down to like 280 billion. And right now we're not even over 280 billion today.
So let me ask you a question. What if you don't? What are you going to convert? You're going to convert it to fiat? What's going on with fiat? Is it going to be worth the same in a year from now? What are you going to do with it? Are you going to dump and buy back? Is what you're going to try to do and manipulate, right?
Well, that's probably what would normally happen. I think as it gets close to 6 figures, I would think that whales are going to go out and then let it drop down to, I don't know, 50,000 and then buy back in, and then it goes to 300,000. There's always that ups and those downs, and like
Exactly.
the hodlers are going to hodl, but the traders are going to trade.
It's a great point, but it reminds me again, we brought this up on the conference last week. This meme really, I thought about what you just said, JP. What am I going to sell it into? If I sell it, I'm selling it into a currency that's inflationary and is going to go down in value. And the point of this meme is that your Bitcoin will be the value in and of itself. You don't need to trade it to dollars. You'll spend it directly from your crypto wallet as Bitcoin.
Exactly. Or your card. When they start making interloop cards where you don't need Visa, you don't need MasterCard, you don't need those cards. What happens when one of us starts making our own closed loop system? And now, and you have POS, and you have places that you can take this card and spend it anywhere and spend your Bitcoin. That's what's going to end up, when we have exactly. I mean, the fiat's going to go away and Bitcoin is going to be the king. And that's what we're one day looking at.
Here's a question for you. When do you think we're going to start referring to Bitcoin as Satoshis? Because as the price goes up, the possibility of most people being able to buy a whole coin greatly diminishes. So you can't start to say, hey, this cup of coffee is 0.00003 Bitcoin. Like, that just sounds foolish, is foolish. So you got to start moving to this, like talking about Satoshis, right?
I see that movement already happening in the interworking of, like, with the ATM machines and some of the banking, the interworking with like BitPay and working with Block Card and some of these other card companies. They're already using the terminology Satoshi. And some of us, you know, in the trading area, we're using using terminology as Satoshi. So I definitely see it going that way. I would hope to see it sooner than later, Matthew. You know, we'll see what happens, brother. I'm with you though. I'd much rather talk about a Satoshi and not say, oh, it's 0.00038, you know, something
Right.
ridiculous.
Well, so here's an interesting question to spring off of that. Travis, once upon a time we did a calculation, and that was how much Bitcoin would there be if everybody in the world had an equal distribution of Bitcoin, right? How much would you have? So that's actually
0.025 Bitcoin.
That's what everybody would
Something
have.
like that. I think it might have been 0.0025 maybe.
Here, I'm going to actually open up let's do the calculation here where all can
we go.
see.
I got my calculator out.
We'll do, yeah, your calculator won't handle the numbers.
No,
It will if you turn it in landscape mode.
So let's say that there's 21 million Bitcoin ever, and we're going to divide that by 7.5
8 billion people.
That's million. All right, there we go.
That's
0.0028 Bitcoin, which in today's numbers, you know, that's $23.80 today.
And then you got to factor in, like you were talking about earlier, the 4 or 5 million that Bitcoin that's been lost, and that number changes even more.
Right. Yeah. There's what do they estimate? 2 million Bitcoin are lost.
4 to 5 are the numbers that I've seen.
Now?
Yeah. Even if it is 2 or 3, that's a lot of Bitcoin when you're, 2 million is 10% of the whole supply.
I'll take it.
I don't know that anybody.
Well, I tell you, I would be wondering whenever quantum computing really gets big, if a lot of those wallets that haven't moved in 10 years don't start getting some quantum computing put towards it to try to figure out those private keys. I would bet money that's what's going to happen. There'll be a quantum sweep of those old wallets, and there'll be an update of some sort for people who are hodling their existing wallets to make it quantum resistant.
Just a quick check in here with the halving clock. We're still waiting on the next block to come through on 629,999. The last one was 11 minutes ago. So pretty soon we're going to see that come through here. I expect this to jump. Yep, there went. It just jumped up to 16. And really, it just depends on when this next block comes through. We'll see this thing go down. We'll see it go down to 10 minutes as soon as the next block comes through.
Come on, blockheads.
Exciting.
This is the first time we've got to experience this because Joel and I started the show in 2017. So the halving had already happened.
There it is.
I remember the halving in 2016. I remember paying attention to it.
So it says here 2 blocks until halving. It has not updated. If you look here, block 999 just came mined a minute ago. So we are now.
Oh, look at that.
We are now on the final block.
Hold on. Take a screenshot of that because that's epic right there. Put it back on.
It might be worth something one day.
Cool.
See, it hasn't updated here yet. I don't know what they're looking at, but this is still showing 2 blocks. Let's check this clock here. I think this clock, happy Bitcoin halving. Look, they put a screenshot up here. Now that one's fun for sure.
Oh, they're saying it's already happened.
So I think you crashed the website, Joe. I think when you announced it on here, it crashed the website, so I can't get on there.
I don't think it's happened yet.
So F2 pool is the big winner. They're the ones who get the last 2.5 Bitcoin.
So wait. Oh, wait, there it is. It's done. They're right.
Oh,
check it out.
Happening right now.
Happy halving.
Oh, nice. There it is. Hold on. Leave that screen right there. I'll take a shot of that.
Take a shot.
There it is. Check it out. The halving is halvening.
So here's what I don't understand. There was 2 blocks mined at the same time. According to blockchain.com, they both say mined 2 minutes ago.
Wow.
Wow. So now
this
clock, they're getting less Bitcoins.
This clock is officially borked. But this one shows that it is done. And ladies and gentlemen, it is now 1,458 days till the next halving.
We're gonna need more
Nice.
beer,
Definitely more vodka.
more vodka.
So this one shows us now at 6.25 Bitcoin per block. So the next halving in 4 years is going to take it down to 3.125. I mean, jump forward like 30 years and you'll be mining like, for one
Dust.
block.
You'll be mining dust.
Well, let's see here. 6.
You'll be mining Satoshi dust.
So,
But it'll add up.
in okay, so it's 2024 and 2028 in 2032, 2030.
630,000 blocks of Bitcoin have
Okay,
been mined.
so
Amazing.
in 2040, if you are still mining, one block will give you 0.1953 Bitcoin. So in 20 years from now,
So that's 5 more halvings from now.
And how much is that worth then?
Yeah,
That's the
that's
question.
the question.
Yeah, I mean, if Bitcoin is worth $1 million, then
Boom.
that's $190,000 to mine that.
Might be worth mining.
Might be worth mining.
Or, there's going to become another cryptocurrency that is similar to Bitcoin, that's more advanced and quantum resistant. I mean, I've always sort of said that Bitcoin could be the MySpace of crypto. It's, I think that eventually there's going to be something that probably overtakes Bitcoin, potentially, but we'll see. I mean, I love the fact that this is decentralized, quote unquote, even though there's only 4 mining pools out there that are earning Bitcoin. I think that's a problem, because here are these guys that are mining the Bitcoin, and what is their incentive to hold? Their incentive is to sell it as soon as they get it, to pay for all their expenses that they've had, and so it's like every time they earn it, they drop, they sell it, which kind of keeps the price. It's like, I don't know. We'll see. I think that within 10 years from now, there'll be something, maybe even before that, there'll be something that's Bitcoin-like, quantum resistant, and the next level of Bitcoin. And Bitcoin might become obsolete someday, but it sure is fun to watch and to guesstimate what's going to happen.
Well, here's the number. So let's just go ahead and estimate that at time of halving, Bitcoin was about $8,500. So if you were in a pool, to guess, or took some sort of poll, what price will Bitcoin be at the halving? We're going to go with, just below $8,500 is where we were.
Now, if you take that and you times that by around 29, which is what the last average is between the last halvings that Bitcoin went up, 29 times.
Wow. Well, 29 times 8,500 puts us at $250,000.
There you go.
So hello, Tim Draper.
Yeah,
That's
Hello,
it.
Tim Draper.
that's pretty spot
Nice.
on.
We better get ourselves some of this Bitcoin stuff people keep talking about.
Yeah, you might want to get in on that.
I wonder if they have any ATMs. Is there anything that you can get ATMs around that, Joff? Is that something?
Definitely, man. You get some ATMs. We're happening right now. One of the machines today in Panama did I think it was 19 grand. So somebody's buying.
There you go.
Nice.
Cryptomatic ATM, Mr. Joff Paradise. This is not sponsored by that. That was a free shout out.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. You didn't have to do that, but thank you.
That's good. Matthew Marcus, my homie here from Kansas City. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
man.
What's up, Matt?
Thanks for jumping on, guys.
We need one
So,
of those
yeah.
ATMs here in KC.
Let's get it
Awesome.
going, baby. I got to get you guys a KC ATM out that way, man. Find me a place to put it.
Travis's
All right.
room.
We'll
There's
think
a place, if you turn off his background, there's a place right behind him.
There's a place right there. People just knock on the door.
Can I get some Bitcoin? And you're like, only if you brought me some Chipotle.
Yeah, I trade Bitcoin for burritos.
And I miss
JP,
that Chipotle.
Matt,
They don't have
thanks
that
for-
out here.
Thanks for stopping in, guys. We're going to wrap this here in a second. So
Thanks,
You got
guys.
a coin graph appointment, don't you?
that's what we're
Cointelegraph.
going to talk about here really briefly and let you guys know where we're heading over to next. So thanks, JP and Matt, for
Appreciate you.
Stay bad, guys. Stay bad.
stay bad.
There it
Stay
is.
bad with bad crypto. See you guys.
Yeah.
Boom.
So, Mr. Travis Wright, in just about 30 minutes from now, we're going to be joining Cointelegraph. If you guys want to see more of this, let me find the link to their stream. I know it's on their page. Let's see. Cointelegraph. Cointelegraph. This has been fun. Like to actually experience this together, you know.
Yeah, that was cool.
This
I've
moment.
been chatting with the homies on the YouTubes.
This moment in time, my phone is blowing up.
Hey, we are over 3,000 subscribers on YouTube.
That's awesome. And if you're
Well,
watching,
considering we didn't have a YouTube channel for the longest time since they took it away from us, and they gave it back to us, and so we still never had that super big traction. But I think with us doing virtual blockchain week and all that stuff, we've gained nearly 1,000 followers there just on that.
So let's see. How do I give you guys the link to this? Because there's not a way to share everywhere at once that we're streaming. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the screen here and show you where to go. We're going to be here in, there's a lot of great people here talking now, but basically if you go to facebook.com/Cointelegraph, I think it's featured right there on their page. Let me just back up to their main page here. Yeah, it's right here happening now. Join Cointelegraph's live Bitcoin halving. So they've got people coming through all the time. Roger Ver has been here, Tom Lee, Tim Draper's been here, and we're going to be on here shortly to share our thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, aspirations, and what else? I don't know.
And our emotions. We're going to share our emotions.
We're going to share our feelings.
We're going to be verklempt and so exciting and stuff.
If you guys haven't listened to Sunday night's, which was last night's show yet, that came out, that's Akon, right? Akon just came out. And
Akon 404.
Yep. And then tomorrow night, Tuesday night, episode 405 is Don Tapscott, one of the smartest dudes in blockchain, because nobody does more research than BRI, right? Him and his son, they look at blockchain and collect data from all over the world. And he's going to share that with us and with you guys tomorrow night. So if you're not subscribed to Bad Crypto, please go to Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, YouTube, Google Play, Stitcher, Podbean,
Your uncle's ham radio,
Castbox, or just come over to Travis's place and he'll just simulate it like it's live.
Yeah.
He'll even
No. I want to use my uncle's ham radio. I think that'd be awesome.
I think before we go, we need a visit from Mike Tyson. Is he around?
I don't think Mike Tyson's around. I was checking for him earlier.
You know who is here? Mr. Potato. I'm so happy that the halving has happened, and I hope they don't have me, because they have me once, they have me twice, and they have me again and again, and I become French fries. I'm not ready to be a French fry.
That's really good.
So don't.
Hey, what's going on? Here's the guys from Wild West Crypto. Want to say, welcome to the. We just had that Bitcoin halving here a little bit ago, and just want to say, really, really glad about that. Love these guys here from Bad Crypto. Make sure to tune in to this Wild West Crypto. We do a show every once in a while.
I got to look here and see if I got one of them here too. I reckon so. Wait, I got to turn off my my background. Is that a 10? Is that a 10-gallon hat? Are you? Yeehaw! You just happen to see me,
let me take a screenshot of that here. Here's the boys. Here's the boys from the Wild West Crypto.
Brent and Drew. We're here. Saddle up, fellas, for some Wild West Crypto show.
Wild West. Wild West.
Wild West. They'd love this.
Wild West.
All right, man. Thanks for watching, joining us thank y'all for bellying up to the bar here and joining us for this here Bitcoin halving event. I reckon. Hold
on. I got one here for you. And if you could please stop printing so many of those paper dollars. Okay, you're devaluing the currency. Okay, thank you.
I'm Bitcoin Cat with my Bitcoin laser eyes. my Bitcoin laser eyes cut into the Bitcoin and cut them in half.
We are losing followers right now as we speak. We must end
That's
this.
okay. We're losing our minds too. All right, I'm gonna shut this down, but not before.
Give me crypto or give me death.
Stay bad. I gotta go put my hair out. See you guys later.